Welcome to another episode of Drunk Cop and the Teacher, the podcast where everything's made up and our comments don't matter, just like any notifications for next gen console sales, because by the time you get to it, it's going to be sold out all over again.
I actually saw that notification.
There's a whole bunch of them all over social media, and then as soon as you open up the comments, people are like, too late, sold out. I didn't get one. And then, like, out of every 100 tweets or comments, maybe one person nailed a console.
Actually, funny that you mentioned that. Yeah. I was talking to my brother about that the other day. He's like, was asking me, he's like, when are you going to get a PS5? I was like, to be honest with you, I'm not too sure, because every time when I try to go at least check, like when I get a notification or when I check like one of those websites that, yeah, at 11 o'clock, consoles are going to be sold online. And then at 10:59, all consoles are already sold out. It's like it hasn't even hit 11 o'clock yet. So, like, how the fuck are these people getting it so early?
Yeah, I actually didn't see a notification. I saw an article about the notifications and whatever not working. That's what I saw.
I mean, I always see just the complaints, even from like headlines, or like people are not happy about Amazon restocks. People are not happy about GameStop restocks.
Exactly.
It's like, whatever. I mean, there's rumors right now that supposedly there's like a new PlayStation 5 model coming out. I don't know what that's going to do, though, because, I mean, would that new one get scalped more than the original?
Yeah, because there'll be more available, I guess.
Or would they just scalp both?
Yeah, both, yeah.
They're probably going to resell that one a higher price.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a rumor, but I did see something about a new model for the Switch.
Switch Pro. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that. Ooh. Supposedly that's going to get announced before E3, but I mean, it's all rumors. There's nothing. There's not even like a leak about it. It's just like things are lining up, because apparently the most recent thing that happened was on a Mexican website. I think it was a Mexican Amazon site. That had a listing for a Switch Pro model.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
So, and then I'll just wait then. Oh, I hear the birds.
There you go. You have your perfect excuse to continue to not buy a Switch.
I mean, why the Pro again? What does the Pro do better, Mike?
It has more gigabytes, has better frame rates, graphics. And I could take it anywhere.
Okay.
Hey, well, listeners, we're gonna skip some of the catching up part, because we actually have a triple feature, maybe a quadruple feature, because Mike supposedly has some sort of top secret indie film that he produced himself that he wants to review himself and support it, even though none of us are going to pay attention to him anyway and just say that the movie's crap.
Buy my next thing.
Porn?
Oh yeah, my 12-inch Insanity review. But
we'll skip the catching up. What we'll do is mention anything that we've seen that might be worth watching. Although I don't have anything I'm going to say that's worth watching, I guess maybe. But I've actually watched quite a bit, things that I'm finally catching up on, maybe. So we'll start with Mike. Mike, have you seen anything worth mentioning?
I mean, worth mentioning? No. What I did see a movie that you guys should definitely avoid. This was one of the movies that we were actually like discussing to review this movie or not. It's on HBO Max. Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Okay.
Oh, is that the
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
I heard it was bad. I heard it was real bad.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Okay. I was so close to give it a Becky card, but I was like, no, this is not worth a Becky card, not yet. But it's bad. It's a movie where it's literally building up, and then the moment that you think it's gonna go off, it ends, and it's just stupid. Everybody in the movie is stupid. No chemistry whatsoever. It's just complete nonsense. Just idiotic writing. Not even like Angelina Jolie was good in the movie. Nobody was good in this movie. It was just more of like, you've seen these people act this type of way in other movies, and it was just like more of this, I don't know, it's just very stupid and very predictable, dumb. Avoid that movie. Do not waste your time. Just whoever made that movie should be fired, not make a movie ever again.
Is this your secret review that you were talking about?
This was my secret review. Yeah, just I saved lives.
I heard someone talk about it like who did Angelina Jolie owe to make this movie, and then also something about a continuity error, like she falls off something, and then when she lands, she's wearing a different outfit completely. I don't know if you noticed that. You did?
It was something like, I think it was like her jacket.
Yeah, so it's like, wow, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so the director is Taylor Sheridan, who also directed Without Remorse, which we did see. I'm trying to think anything else that's worth knowing. He doesn't have a whole lot of directing credits.
Wait, is that the Amazon one we just watched?
Yeah, the Tom Clancy one. Yeah. Sekiro, Hell or High Water, Wind River, Sekiro, Day of the Soldado, Last Cowboy, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. Wait, actually, no, not even. My bad. He didn't even direct that. He wrote it.
Oh, no wonder.
Screenplay, screen and story by, and screenplay by. So he only directed Vile, Wind River, Yellowstone, which is a TV series. He's on 9 episodes on, and then this movie that you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's a red card for sure. Just, ladies and gentlemen, just don't watch it. Avoid it. Don't. Yeah, it's a bad movie. Yeah.
10-4 over and out. Anything else you watched?
Nothing worth mentioning, but I did go on a roller coaster that me and Sal were going to talk about. So we went to, well, I went for my 3-year anniversary with my wife to Universal, and Velocicoaster was open, but the grand opening is June 10th, but they were open for testing purposes, I guess. So
yeah, it's a technical rehearsal. So basically, you get the entire ride, just not the theming behind it. Basically,
the what?
The theme behind it, like, because one of my not complaints, but just like I'm curious what it is like the story behind it. Like I'm going to assume that you're running away from raptors or you're trying to escape from raptors. But usually with Universal rides, they do pretty well setting up the story in the queue line.
Yeah, you mean the shit you have to wait in line if it's a long time and you over and over and over.
But even when you do single riders, because I did single riders, there was no story, there was no nothing other than you just heard like raptor sounds once in a while.
Fuck that! I'm a single rider. The only thing about single riders is getting there very fast and very quick.
So, Mike, continue.
Yeah. So we waited for the first time 40 minutes. Me and my wife didn't know what to really expect. I was expecting for it to be like just like a regular roller coaster, nothing serious. But I was excited for it. After getting off the ride, holy shit, that is literally the best ride in Universal. I was honestly, it's like one of those debates. Is it the best ride in Florida? Because it's in
Florida.
Yeah, in Florida, it's one of those is one of those crazy roller coasters where it goes so fast and has so many loops. There's a part where you're like upside down and going straight down, and like there's water underneath you. Like it's just so it's insane. And the crazy part is not even the seats, the seat belt. It's overlap.
There's no seatbelt. It's just like a bar that restrains you down.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. And I just love how
upside down.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So I'll chime in here too, because obviously I've been on the ride. First thing I want to mention, I'm surprised Mike didn't bring it up, is that there's like a pretty sick statue of like 3 or 4 velociraptors.
Oh, there's 4 of them. It's supposed to be like Echo, Delta, Blue, and I forgot what was the other name.
Is it the animatronics that I saw in the video, or is it something different?
I don't know if it's the same raptors, but I mean, I'm just pointing out that it's a really awesome statue. Like it's like as impressive as like the Optimus Prime statue is above the Transformers ride. I would say this is just as, if not more, impressive than that, because there's like a lot of detail on it and everything, and so that was really cool to see. But there is no amount of I guess descriptions or things that Mike and I could say to really fully prepare anybody for this ride, because it is literally like hands down the best ride I think I've been on any theme park I've been on so far. Now, to be fair, I haven't been to Six Flags, and I haven't done a lot of roller coasters at Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens, yeah.
But this is a like. There's no complaining on this ride. Like there's concern. I have one concern, which I think Mike was getting ready to kind of talk a little bit more about, or was bringing into play here. But like the loops are crazy. You know how on some roller coasters there's like a couple of like areas where you think you're gonna slow down, right? And then they just go put you down a ramp. The first one you come to doesn't slow you down. It just speeds you up even more than already the speed that you're going at, and then it shoots you right up, and then it shoots you right back down. So it just gets more and more intense, and there's no, you just can't expect anything. Like you're just going to be surprised, obviously your first time around. For me, this is not a ride though I can continuously go on, just because I don't feel completely safe with just that lap bar. Like I feel like there should be belts, if not maybe an option to put a belt on, because I counted, it was like 5 times where like you get that feeling where you're literally out of your seat, and I'm like, holy crap, like this is it, this is the end for me, like I'm gone. Wow. Oh well, like at least I'm smiling when I'm going down here.
Every other day, it's the end for me.
It's good though. It is so good. And like I was screaming off top of my lungs, like my throat was sore after I got off, and I was like, damn, this is a good ride.
What did you do?
It's a really good ride, man. My wife, she usually doesn't scream and ride, and she didn't scream in this ride, but she was laughing because I was screaming so much of how it's just like literally, you remember that second part where you just speed up, like you think that you slow down. No, it's just like an extra like 80 miles per hour. Like I don't think that's the right like speed, but it just feels so fucking fast.
Well, then let me ask you 2 questions real quick. Do you think they're still testing stuff out, and do you think it's going to be crazy lines when it actually officially opens?
Yeah, it's going to be crazy lines. Yeah, for sure. Not a lot of people know that it's open.
Yeah,
I got incredibly lucky. I mean, I got there at, I want to say, a 9:30 maybe. I mean, it's crazy to go into the park first of all.
It's basically opening though, right?
It's open, but only for like a period of time.
No, I'm saying like, opening like around 9:30. That's usually
9. The park opens. Yeah,
but I got lucky because as soon as I got to the ride, it took me maybe total 20 minutes from the time of getting to the entrance and then getting off the ride, because like I went for single riders. So you could get lucky with single riders. Otherwise, as soon as I got there, the wait time was already at 60 minutes, and then they upped it to 75 by the time I got into single riders.
And then my last question is it with the time of waiting for the ride, is it one of those that it says 20 minutes or 15, but you're basically walking the whole thing, or is it actually you just waiting?
Well, for me, this is where I could come and play. For me, the first time I went in, it said 40 minutes. And honestly, I felt like I was just in line for 20 minutes. Because everything's really fast. Like you're standing still at some point in line, but at the same time, like I guess because all 3 roller coasters were working, were being used. So like literally like a group of people will come off, and then they'll add the other group of people quick, and then the next one, and then the next one. So like it's super quick, and then the middle part is the locker room, because you had to put all your stuff inside the locker before going inside the ride. So like that was really quick too as well. And then I don't know, I feel like so far this was the quickest, how can I say this? This was the quickest ride comparison out of all the other rides, because when it says like 60 minutes, it feels like 60 minutes. But in this one, where there was one point where I waited close to like 90, and I felt like it was like less than an hour.
That's good. So I'm hearing green cards all around, except for me.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, Hagrid's is good. Hagrid's is good. I will say that's the second best ride in Universal. Yeah. But this is by far the best ride.
Yeah. There's no argument. Yeah, that one.
To go on it.
Yeah. So listeners, if you're ever planning a trip to Florida, do yourself a favor and at least give yourself a chance to get on the Velocicoaster if you're doing roller coasters, because it's definitely one to cross off your list.
Yeah. Definitely. But anything worth mentioning for you, Ham? Anything?
Yeah,
That
I did not go on a roller coaster. I saw some plays, and
Next.
yeah, you fuck. Uh, it's Fringe Festival happening last week and this week, and got to see one that was these guys doing D&D, but playing Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace, but it's like the movie didn't exist, and they're sort of making it up as they
Rewriting.
go.
So wait, it's a play on them playing D&D?
But it's the Phantom Menace movie, Phantom Menace movie, but it's like they're writing it as they go. So they have,
Okay.
yeah. So it's pretty funny. They're like, there's this one girl. She's like the little sister. She's like, I want to play too. And they're like, I don't know. You have to make a character. She's like, I'll make a character. I see that jar over there. I can be Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
it's like they're just making up as they go. It's like, what are we? We're monks with laser swords? No, I want a blaster. He's like, no.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, they're like that. They're like, but I can. This laser thing can deflect stuff. Oh, I want that then.
All right.
So, and the girl who played Anakin, she's like, right at the end, she's talking to the dungeon master, and she's like, I got some notes for this character, and it plays the Rick and Morty song where it's like the evil character, and she shows him the notes, and it's like Order 69 or 66, I should say, and all that stuff. So that was pretty funny. And then I also saw Reservoir Dogs from Quentin Tarantino, but in Shakespearean iambic pentameter, which was very interesting. If you haven't seen Reservoir Dogs in general, watch that. And this was really good too. And one more little show we saw was a Choose Your Own Adventure sing along, which was okay. It was kids doing stuff, so I was like, but no, I enjoyed...
Pretty exciting.
You fucker. Yeah, it was. You should have been there. Better than the Velociraptor coaster or whatever it's called.
I will kill you.
How about you, Sal?
So I've just been catching up on a lot of stuff. Cars 3 I saw for the first full time, the whole of Cars 3, because I've only been watching snippets because of my kids.
Oh, I never
saw because it was picked as movie night. Cars 3 was one of the picks, so finally saw it. It was good. I liked it. I would give it a green card. I think it's still up there with the other Cars movie. I know a lot of people don't like Cars, that franchise in general.
No, they don't like 2. I heard 2 was a shit show. I never saw 2.
Yeah, 2. Well, it's very weird because 2 is more like a spin-off film than an actual second entry into the franchise. Yeah. Like Cars 1, you can go into Cars 3 just watching Cars 1. You don't even need to watch Cars 2. Yeah. I saw Lego Movie Part 2. That was another family movie night.
How was that?
I liked it. It was good. I don't know. I think the first one was definitely better. But I don't think this one is like a huge downgrade at all in any way. It's just got a different message. It's about sharing, basically, like brother and sister sharing Legos and whatnot. And I guess but you don't see Will Ferrell. Not Will. Yeah, is it?
Will Ferrell.
Wait, what's his? Will Ferrell. That's it. Yeah, you don't see him. You hear his voice. So I don't know if he just recorded those few lines or what. But it was mostly like the mom taking care of like the 2 kids. But you don't really see her until the end, anyway. But it was still good. It's got a time travel in it.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And there's some Velociraptors in that too.
Yeah, there is actually. Yeah, Mike, did you see it?
No, I never seen Part 1 either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't like fucking cartoons and shit.
I do. I just haven't gotten into it. I don't know. I just found when the movie got announced, I was like, oh, more likely it's just like one of those money grabbers, just like for kids and stuff like that.
No, it's not. It's definitely. I mean, they put a lot of effort and careful attention to detail in a lot of the things, and that's what I've always appreciated from the first one. And they did the same thing with the second one. So,
okay, I'll check it out then.
I mean, if this next line doesn't sell it to you, then I don't know what's going to. But you have raptors running a spaceship.
The second one.
Yeah.
I'm in.
But I mean, it's Chris Pratt voicing the main character, so I mean, it makes sense.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny right there.
Also, I don't remember if I think you didn't, and I don't know about Mike, but also watch Lego Batman. I like that.
Oh, that's the next one I want to watch.
I saw Lego Batman. It's okay.
I liked it. I mean,
I don't know. I was expecting it for it to be a lot more funny, but it was just, it was decent. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but I just felt like it was just, it had potential of being something good, and I think it missed the mark.
what do you mean, like every DC movie?
Yeah, pretty
so it was
much. Yeah.
consistent, basically.
Oh yeah, my bad. You know what? Green card.
Well,
Exactly.
okay, so Lego Movie Part 2, I'd give it a green card. It's a lot of fun to watch. I was laughing with my kids, and then even my girlfriend was just like looking at the three of us. We're like, really, the three of you at the same time? Like, yeah, it's good.
You just reminded me. I have one more thing, which is the Mighty Ducks series on Disney Plus. I really enjoy that, and I think you could watch it with your kids.
You said that already.
Yeah, I know, but I think it was the last episode, so now they're all out, and I'm like, I really enjoy this, and I think it is kid friendly. I think you can watch it with your kids. There's nothing bad about it. I think I give that a green card, and you should watch it. I think Karina, because she's a little older, would like it more.
Yeah, but my kids don't really care for like human people. they want cartoons.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're raising her right.
I also saw Netflix film Woman in the Window, which is the one with Amy Adams.
Oh yes, I've heard some things about that movie.
She plays a psychiatrist who has agoraphobia. Basically, it's like she can't go outside at all because it gives her like extreme anxiety. But she witnesses a murder across the street, and so she's put into question about whether or not the murder happened because the people around her is like everything is like none of the things that she witnessed happened at all.
This is another Rear Window or whatever.
Maybe, yeah, kind of, I guess. I give it a yellow card mainly just because of Amy Adams, and her performance in the whole thing was very believable. I thought she was really good. Her acting was really, really like on par, like on what's on her A game, I guess, throughout the whole movie. But the problem with the movie is that it's one of those things where it kind of sets up a mystery, but you kind of already figure out early on what what is the real situation, and it's kind of disappointing at the end of it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to know.
You want me to spoil it?
I mean,
I'm not watching it. It sounds stupid.
I'm not gonna watch it because my wife was like, "Yeah, I heard super bad things about it. We're not watching it."
Yeah,
so I kind of figured out it's in her mind, like it's her.
No, well, so she witnesses a murder. I'm trying to think. Like all the people are real. The problem is it's the son. Now the son is like one of the first people of the family that she friends, and it kind of like hints that like he could like obviously he's going to be the one, the killer behind everything. But then like it does a few good moments of like trying to make you think, oh, what if it's the dad, or what if it's the woman, or what if it's the roommate? But then like at some point you just kind of figure, oh, this one clue is part of the whole thing. Okay, got it. It's definitely the kid. And it's like the kid has like left. I want to just say juvie because I'm sure he's been locked up. He was locked up for some time because he's killed.
Juvie. I heard some other words.
He's killed other women before that the dad has always been tied to, and so like I guess they paid to make sure that the word doesn't get out about him, and they just want to kind of keep him constrained, and so that's why the dad like freaks out throughout the entire movie because he doesn't want. My assumption is he doesn't want Amy Adams' character obviously to die as well, and because she's getting involved, like she gets more and more like sucked into the whole drama, and so it turns out at the end that it's the son that was behind everything, but ends up killing everybody except for Amy Adams' character. So.
Oh, cool.
But like those types of movies, like the suspense and everything would be fine if you just didn't give it away so early on. Like if you didn't make it too obvious, and that's my problem with this movie is that it was too obvious. Otherwise, Amy Adams, just seeing her portrayal with the character was really good. Okay. What else did I watch? Friends reunion. I know Mike doesn't care. He's expressed very vividly about how much he doesn't give a crap. I thought it was good. I liked it a lot. I was surprised it was almost 2 hours long.
Yeah,
but it was really good. I liked every bit of it. I don't think there was a complaint. I like that they brought up even iconic scenes that people would remember again. Like my favorite one is the pivot scene. Like I'm glad that they did like table reads of stuff. And I was like, man, is a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion like that? Because I never watched it. So after I watched the Friends one,
talking about go back and watching that because
after I watched the Friends one, I watched immediately the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air one. It was okay. It was I don't think it was as good as Friends, but it was fine. It was shorter, I guess, and it was like half an hour shorter than the Friends one. But the Friends one, I think, definitely sets a standard for reunion shows. I want to say.
Yeah, the one thing I want to mention with that was I didn't know that episode where Joey broke his arm, spoilers, or shoulder. I didn't know that was shot in sequence, and that's why maybe that was more of a episode that people enjoyed or focused on. And the funny thing is, I don't really remember that one. I remember the closed, but other than that, I don't remember it being that, I guess, important. So I might have to go back and watch that episode.
Yeah, I think longtime Friends fans would definitely appreciate this reunion.
Yeah, for sure.
It was definitely really, really good. And the only other thing I guess I could bring up is that I finally watched A Quiet Place just in preparation for next week, since we're going to talk about the sequel.
Oh, nice.
Finally got around to watching the first one. I liked it. It was really good. I'd give it a green card for sure. I think it's a nice set piece. I think that's maybe the right context to use this in. Because it all takes place in one particular area. Yeah. And I'm surprised it was as short as it was. It was like only an hour and a half. And I would have liked more, I guess, like more kind of backstory. But for what it was, I thought it was played out really well. Everything seemed to have made sense for the most part. Like I don't even have like nitpicks per se, except for the nail. The nail bothered me because like the dad knew the nail was there when he was going down the stairs.
There, yeah.
And he didn't take it off at all.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. It's a super nitpick, but it's just like of all the things to set up like tension in a scene, like we're gonna go with a nail. Like this is gonna be it. Sure, whatever.
Yeah, what's called the bomb in literature? It's the bomb that it's gonna blow up, but you don't know when. It just builds tension. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a super nitpick, but I liked it. It's really good, and I can't wait to talk about the sequel because I already watched the sequel. Because there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit of talking points I want to bring up on the sequel.
My prediction, I'm the only one who hasn't seen it. I feel like hopefully it doesn't do an over budget that dilutes the original. That's don't say no, but yeah, hopefully it stays to the first one. But I feel like from the trailers, hopefully it's not a lot of flashbacks.
I guess you'll have to wait to find out.
Yep.
All right, let's get into a lot of these headlines. There's not really a whole lot.
After like how long?
I know, right? This is a long episode, listeners. So hopefully you're sitting back and eating some popcorn or washing dishes, doing laundry. I don't know what you guys do when you listen to this.
Yeah. Nothing creepy, please.
All right, so like I said, 6 or 7 of them. The first thing I'll bring up, let's see here. Pokemon games got a release date for Pokemon fans out there. The remakes of Diamond and Pearl will come out November 19th. And then the new franchise entry would be coming out on January 28th. And that's the Pokemon Legends Arceus. That's the one I think most people are excited for. Although Pokemon community is half stupid and people are already complaining about the release date because November to January is super short. And apparently everyone on the internet knows how game development works and thinks that that's not enough time to develop Arceus.
Well, before I forget, speaking of people being stupid and whatever, I saw this as I was trying to set something up before this podcast and I couldn't do it. It said something about Pokemon Go Fest 2021. Pokemon Go Fest will strike a chord with new catch and raid formats. Biggest Pokemon Go event of the year will cost $5. Feature one day focus on catching and another on raids. And I don't know if that's a big deal. I don't know if you.
I mean, for Pokemon Go players, it is. I was gonna ask Mike later if he was gonna do it.
I already bought the ticket.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was good, so this one seems to be also much just as good, if not better. So
yeah, I'm just worried about the prices. What I mean is that they knocked down the price. I don't know because of COVID, but
no, it's
five.
fifth anniversary. That was the reasoning. It's like it's the fifth
Oh,
anniversary
so
of Pokemon Go, so
$5.
we're gonna do $5 instead of the usual 15. Because last year it was 15 for both days.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, go ahead again. Sorry.
Oh no, that was it. So Pokemon Legends in January, Pokemon Diamond Pearl in November. After that, we finally get an E3 setup. I'm pretty sure this is still within E3 terms. The Xbox and Bethesda. They went out of their way to say and Bethesda game showcase is happening on Sunday, June 13th at 1 p.m. It's supposed to be a 90-minute show promising games, and more games, new Game Pass titles coming, and new game IPs to announce. I'm curious, like, if that's just going to be the continuance, the Xbox and Bethesda. Like, they have to go out of the way to say Bethesda now.
Yeah.
They don't want to be, like, I don't know if they just don't want Bethesda to be merged with Xbox, or are they just using Bethesda as like a tagline to get more people to watch. So
both, I assume. But if Bethesda announces anything about Elder Scrolls, as Mike would say, they win. They win. Game over. Champions. Yeah. So, which I doubt, but maybe there will be a little teaser trailer or something if they keep saying Xbox and Bethesda. So we'll see. Or maybe they'll be like, "Hey, everyone, play Fallout 76 or die." So yeah, we should all play Fallout 76.
I'd rather die.
red card. So that's in addition to we did actually bring up the EA Play Live, which is on June 12th, and I think maybe Ubisoft announced theirs. I can't quite remember, but I mean Xbox and Sony really and Nintendo are really the main three, obviously the big three. But Sony hasn't announced what they're gonna do because other than they're not gonna do E3, but they usually have some sort of digital showcase event sometime in the summer. So we can wait to hear from that. What else is on here? Sonic Central. I don't know if you guys cared to watch this at all. I know I didn't bring it up with you guys earlier, but Sonic is entering its 30th anniversary celebration, and they actually, for the first time, did a live stream of basically like their own direct, like how Nintendo does Nintendo Directs. Sonic did their own, where they mentioned collaborations, games, and merchandise and stuff for the Sonic franchise. The first part of it was just collaborations. So you're going to see Sonic as a playable character in the Tokyo games for the Switch, I think that's coming out. You're also going to see as a playable character in a Yakuza-like type of game, which is weird. You have to see it to really understand any part of it. And then like in another game, you'd be able to play Sonic. I think it's just Sonic the Hedgehog. I can't remember if it's just one or two in an arcade within a game. Like, you know how you like enter like an arcade shop and then like sometimes like there's like one or two games out there where you actually get to play the arcade game itself. There'll be the same thing here for Sonic. They mentioned Sonic Colors Ultimate, which is basically like a remastered version of Sonic Colors. That's coming out this fall on all three consoles. Merchandise wise, nothing too exciting merchandise, except maybe a coin. There's a collectible coin. And the other reason that's interesting to me is because for their 10th anniversary, they came out with a collectible coin as well with the soundtrack, I think, for a lot of the Sonic music. So it's just something I'm looking forward to, just to kind of continue on that trend, I guess. And then they ended it with teasing a new Sonic mainline game. They didn't really give a title. It was just literally you see Sonic's feet and the graphics look beautiful, but then again, it's probably a cinematic trailer and not a gameplay trailer. So I think it was just for them to say, hey, we're working on a new Sonic game coming out sometime, probably next year. And then that was it.
That's Nintendo, right?
What do you mean? This was a Sonic stream.
No, I'm saying if a game comes out, where is it coming out from?
All three consoles.
Yeah.
And PC even.
Ooh.
So all of them and PC?
Yep. Overall, as a direct, I'm just gonna call it direct, but it was fine. I mean, I think they did okay for the first time. A lot of complaints were just about like the collaboration stuff because it just seemed really, really weird. And I think people just wanted to see more our actual full gameplay of a new Sonic game, but didn't get it. So I think that complaints are just more nitpicks than anything else. But I think it was just okay. I thought it was just cool. I think it's good for Sonic fans to have something like this.
Yeah. I guess they didn't talk anything about the movie or anything.
No mention of the sequel, which actually would have been kind of interesting that if they had put that in there. But no, I guess it's not coming out within that year. Actually, I don't. Is there a release date for that? I have no idea.
Yeah,
there might not be because this is supposed to be for Sonic's 30th anniversary year. So it's probably not coming out within that timeline.
Yeah.
All right, two more. Let's see. We'll do this one next. Borderlands 3 was ready to allow full crossplay, but PlayStation support has been pulled. So,
oh my God.
Just to be clear, for Borderlands 3, same console family crossplay is good. So, if you're doing Xbox One to Xbox Series, whatever.
That's what I was worried about from the beginning. That was going to be an issue with the new consoles.
Same console, you're good, but they wanted to do crossplay, for you to play on Xbox and for Mike to play on PlayStation. PlayStation says no, we're not dealing that. So there's no reason as to why, though. That's the other problem, is that like people are like kind of pissed and confused as to
that's why.
Maybe because we did talk about that whole Epic Epic Games has to pay a certain amount to PlayStation to allow crossplay to happen on Fortnite, I think, and so this might be part of the same reason. But it was just, I don't know. I just don't understand why PlayStation doesn't like to play with others. Like the whole name is PlayStation, yet they don't want to play with other people.
I mean, of course, it makes sense.
Nintendo's always like, we would like to play. So.
Yeah, PlayStation is greedy. Everybody knows that. Has never been new. They just do their own shit, and it's annoying.
That's why Xbox is number one.
Last thing to bring up: Amazon buys James Bond studio MGM for nearly $9 billion.
That's crazy. I don't know exactly what are they buying besides the James Bond license, and what the fuck are they going to do with it?
So that is the question. And then I actually have a paragraph from the article here that kind of explains what really is the main headline for this. But interesting tidbit here: Apple was trying to buy MGM for $6 billion, but Amazon turned it down. And so obviously you go for the higher offer there.
MGM turned it down.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
MGM.
Yeah, MGM. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Okay. And so Amazon steps in and says, hey, we'll offer you 9. Boom. There you go. Now, fair question, right? Mike brings up what it is that they're getting out of this other than obviously the entire James Bond franchise. It seems that they're also buying Epix. I think I'm saying that right because it's spelled EPIX. And I'm just going to read this straight from the article. What Epix does have, however, is a lucrative Play One deal with companies like Paramount. Pay One is a fancy term that basically means Epix gets exclusive rights to a Paramount movie after it hits theaters. While part of the deal has changed, Paramount... Well, actually, I'll read this paraphrase here, too. Epix and Viacom CBS signed a new deal in February that will allow some Paramount films to hit Paramount Plus for a period of time before heading to Epix. So this means that Amazon will get access to films like Mission Impossible 7 and A Quiet Place 2. Basically just buying up more franchises. I don't know if this exactly means that they'll get streaming rights, like, available in theaters and on Amazon or whatever, but this just secures like these specific movies for their streaming service and not like giving it to like Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
Well, but was it really worth $9 billion for that?
Well, you also have to understand that it literally is, I think, one of the first, major movie companies. It's close to 100 years. A company that's been still, how many companies can you say we bought that's been almost 100 years? That still does, I want to say, okay.
It's a large catalog of movies too.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the big original ones. And speaking of catalog, MGM owns this franchise, or not a franchise, series that was the biggest sci-fi thing of all time, and it's called Stargate. Yeah.
Oh
And
god.
now that they own Stargate, they can start making series and movies again. And I'm telling you, Stargate was very big because, well, Star Trek was not doing anything at the time.
Oh
But,
yeah.
yeah.
But what year did it come out of? What year did Stargate come out?
I think the original movie, or Stargate SG-1, or Stargate Atlantis, or Stargate Universe.
Just end this now.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, they gotta keep that gate closed. Oh,
I mean, Amazon, I don't know. I feel like Amazon wouldn't just cough up money like this if it was just like a blind deal. Like if they were just like, we think it's going to be okay. I feel like this is a thought out one. And the only reason why maybe Apple, well, why does Apple then try to get it for less? Apple is probably stingy as hell. Like, they'll probably get away. They probably want to get away with murder on these deals. So,
I mean, they're getting away with murder right now with that Apple subscription of what their streaming subscription of movies, where they only have like 5 movies in there and they want to charge you like $10. So like
$10? What are you talking about?
I mean $5 the max. But still though, like it's still not worth it.
It's one of their cheaper ones.
You gotta admit, what was the last thing we saw? Cherry and Jacob's Jacob, whatever, I forgot the name.
Defending Jacob.
Jacob. Those were the only 2 things that we've actually seen from Apple.
Oh no, I like Mythic Quest. That's really good.
That's the game developer one, right?
Yeah, I really like that.
All right, let's get into finally our first of 3 media entertainment films. You can't really call the first one a film. To talk about here, Camp Cretaceous. Season 3 came out. I want to end the notes though that Mike was not very excited when when Ham and I brought this up. We wanted to talk about it. Mike's response was and that was it. But now all of a sudden he wants it back up. Probably because after the Velocicoaster madness.
Well, yeah, we were like,
yeah, it's true.
And then out of nowhere, he was like, "Yeah, I saw it." I'm like, "What?" Like,
yeah. After I got out the roller coaster, when we got home, I started watching Camp Cretaceous because I was just on a Jurassic Park high.
Just really quick tangent though.
I was
just really quick tangent though. Like the setup, the ride, and the store afterward does kind of put you in the Jurassic Park mood because even I was like, I kind of want to go watch Jurassic Park right now.
Yeah, I want to watch every single one of them, especially 3. Why not?
I don't know about that. All right, so Camp Cretaceous. Continuing on with the lives of these kids, we will do cards first, and then we'll go into our spoilers discussion on this. So, Mike, what card will you give season 3?
Fantastic card.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, my bad. Green card.
Okay, Ham.
I'll go with green, but I will go into detail.
I am gonna give it a yellow,
That's
but
fair,
I may be talked into a green, but we'll see.
That's fair, yeah, but maybe not if what I'm gonna say. Well, we'll see.
So season 3 is basically the focus is on them trying to leave the island because they find a boat. They set up the boat, they get everything ready to go, but obviously there's always gonna be something that gets in the way. But we were all wrong about what the next dino baddie is going to be. Because we initially thought it was going to be the Indoraptor, which is what the second Jurassic World movie had brought to the table. But we find out that it is a new dinosaur hybrid called Scorpius Rex, which I don't know how to describe this one other than a larger deformed face raptor with needles. Is that accurate?
It
pretty much.
Too. It had like weird, like almost like I don't want to say.
I have a perfect comparison.
What do you got?
You remember Monsters Inc? You know that purple guy, the one that goes invisible. It's that.
Okay. This dinosaur has predator vision. Basically, just heat vision. So anything that it tries to see, it picks up the thermal energy from the source. So they obviously get into a lot of I guess, danger with that one as they try to figure out, how to prepare the boat, how to fix the boat. I'm trying to think what's really noticeable here. We do get Dr. Wu is in here for a couple episodes because he's trying to get a laptop to make more hybrid monsters, which ties into the sequel, Jurassic World. And then, there's a whole setup there where the kids try to get the laptop and try to race everything. Their plan kind of succeeds because the laptop does get crushed. And so the ending, though, is that they get away on the boat, but something opens a door on the boat or tries to open a door, and you hear growling, which leaves you to believe it's a dinosaur. Because I didn't mention this. This is the same boat that the hunters from the season 2 were leaving on, or at least the lady that she was trying to leave on, and she gets attacked by a dinosaur. So I mean, that's basically the entire series in a nutshell. First thing I'll say is I still don't believe this is a kids show. There's no way that a lot of these scenes, that the way that they're filmed and the way that they're set up is just strictly a kid's show or even meant to be for kids. Like, at the very least, definitely teenagers, if not for the older audience somehow. Because I don't know how, besides us, like someone in their late 30s is like, yeah, I want to watch a cartoon show about Jurassic.
Get the fuck out of here early.
Well, I said besides us, someone in their late 30s would be interested in watching a kid show about dinosaurs, not knowing exactly what it entails.
They're watching, yeah.
So, because this one had some more intense and not necessarily scary scenes, but more scenes with tension and fear put into it than I think the other 2 series did.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know, Mike, go ahead. You can start us off. What do you want to bring up about this series?
For me, the thing that I liked about that each episode was like a build up towards the next episode. It wasn't just more of like how the last 2 seasons where it had their moments of just one episode. And then it's just like, all right, so I'm wondering what's going to be the next episode. For me, it was more of okay, so they're building up to this, and then the next episode is going to touch base on that. And then when it does touch base on that, it goes up towards another one and another one. And I liked it. And of course, they had an appearance of the Raptor Blue. He was
Blue.
in Clever Girl episode 4. That I will honestly say that might be one of my favorite episodes. I really did like that one a lot. And then I even liked I think episode 7 or 8 is when they had the 2 the 2 what's
Scorpius Rex?
Scorpius Rex, the 2 Scorpius Rex like battling each other, and it's that intense scene where these kids are trying to find a way to survive, but at the same time, like the 2 Scorpius Rex are like trying to eat them, but they're like fighting at the same time. So it's just madness. And then Blue,
Blue
them. Blue did work. Yeah,
that was a good episode. Yeah,
that was a really good episode. And then the next episode where is the beginning of the Fallen Kingdom of like the T-Rex chasing the helicopter. Cool. That was really cool. Everything else to me was really good. I will say the ending for me kind of felt a bit short. I felt like it was building up towards something, and it was just like just an original episode where you just see like one of those, like, I don't want to say fillers, but I don't know why I wanted a little bit more of something. And the whole boat thing I didn't understand, because the beginning of the season they checked the whole entire boat.
That bothered me too.
That bothered me.
Go ahead, bring it up. That
dinosaur could have gone in at any point, but still, even as you're debarking or embarking, whatever, you're gonna check it, I would assume.
Since we're talking over Mike, the first like 3, 4, 5 minutes of that episode, you see him extensively search the boat. They're opening doors. They're going through every room, and it ends with one door that they did not bother to check, or maybe they did, but they just couldn't open it. But if the dinosaur was in there and it was hearing the door open, wouldn't it have responded in some way? Like, that was like a weird, like, I don't get it. Like,
I agree with Mike's shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And then also too, this bothered me. It's a little nitpick. It bothered me. Kenji's beard, whatever they're trying to do with that character. it bothered me because it was so inconsistent. Is that one scene you will see like he will have a beard, and then the other scene it's gone, and then like one part has it and one part doesn't, and then another episode the other part has it but the other part doesn't. So like it's just I don't know. It was just weird. I understand like they've been on the island for 6 months, but at the same time, like I feel like it was unnecessary to even have that. That's just me. It's like I said, it's a nitpick. But I like the season. Me personally, I will say this is my favorite season so far.
Okay.
This is my favorite season so far. I'm wondering what they're gonna do next episode. I mean next season. But I am going to say a prediction where Bumby is going to still end up being with Ben when all the dinosaurs are free from are free on the country, you know, when they come back to America and things like that. So I know they're gonna go back and probably save some dinosaurs or something like that because of course the island does get destroyed by the volcano. But we'll see. We'll see what that hint of the dinosaur trying to open the door brings us.
All right, Ham, what you got?
With what Mike was saying earlier, this season, I don't think it's the best, but I had a lot of flashbacks of Lost. It felt very Lost oriented, where they're trying to get off. We gotta get off the island. We got the boat. The boat sank. Now we gotta get another boat, and just shit is happening. And it being similar to Lost, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I'm gonna say no, because it just felt like Lost with dinosaurs. And
So like Lost World?
no. Which I used to watch that TV series that was based off of a different thing, but yeah. I was iffy. I thought about giving it a yellow. I don't think it deserves a yellow, but there's some things in the series that I'm like, really? Like, especially the Ben part. The Ben part was, for me, a back and forth that should have been back and forth. Because I'm like, oh, this show has balls. They're actually going to leave them. And then at the end, no. He's like, wait for me, guys. And I'm like, fuck, come on. I thought this show had some balls. So I didn't like that. It was just him like, no, I'm going to stay. No, maybe I'll go. But then it's like, I have to stay here. And I'm like, come on. That was a really big problem for me for this season. And the Kenji thing with his beard, it was noticeable, but it didn't bother me. Like, it literally was in your face, but it didn't bother me that much. What else? I also was thinking about how much more drama between these characters are we gonna get. Like, I thought a lot of things were resolved, but then, especially at the end again with Kenji and
Darius,
where he's like, "We cool?" and he's like, "No, we're not cool." And I'm like, oh, "Come on." And
yeah, I forget what was one of the things. It was just because like he left Brooklyn, right?
yeah, they didn't want to risk her life because of the trade and the whatever. But even then, Ben had a plan with Bumpy, so I'm like, that really wasn't a big deal. Like that could have been done better as well. So
I would have honestly said to Kenji, I was like, hey man, if you're gonna be mad at that, you know, that's all fucked up. That's just me.
but I think I have more problems with this season than I had the other two, but maybe because it was more intricate. But I don't know. There was one other thing that I'm like, really, like how, why, but this just very reminiscent of Lost, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. That's why yellow. I don't know if I can convince myself to give it a yellow, but it's borderline for sure.
You know, all that talk that you guys did actually just solidified my yellow.
Yeah, yep. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna convince you to give it a green.
No, I can't. So I had like a weird feeling the first few episodes where I'm like, something seems off. Like I'm just not like into this as like all the other two series, because I was really looking forward to this one. Like I said, Ham and I were the first ones to bring it up.
Yep.
And so as I'm sitting down watching this entire series, one of the things that bothered me was that they were so wishy-washy with these characters. They had development, but then they regressed back to what they were like in the next episode. Then they moved again, and then they regressed back again. And then I was like, oh, how many, like, just like you were saying, like, how many times are we going to keep having this drama? Like, why can't we just get this done and over with now? And especially with Ben's character, it's like you build this up for like 3 episodes of like, oh, he's gonna stay, but then like you convince him to come with you, but then he's like, oh, I kind of want to stay, but then he's convinced that he's gonna go with you, but then he's like, okay, I'm finally gonna stay, but then at the end he's coming back with you. I'm like, that was so annoying. I don't know, it bothered me because I felt like it would have been good for him to stay. Like as a developing his character, I think it would have been kind of a cool and interesting take if he had just stayed on the island, because then you can always bring him back when if you tie it into obviously Fallen Kingdom, when the volcano's erupting and you gotta they're getting all the dinosaurs off. It'd be cool if he interacted with the other characters somehow. I did like the scene that we got that ties into Fallen Kingdom. Like I thought that was like the coolest scene in the sense that this is the closest I think we got into a movie tie-in than any other episode.
You guys remind, because I don't.
They were right there. Okay, so the beginning of Fallen Kingdom is like the guys like trying to get some information from or fix something on a part of the island where the park is, and he gets basically chased by a T-Rex, but he jumps on the ladder that the helicopter gets down, but then he gets eaten by a mosasaur. But the kids were like on the other side of the park watching this whole thing, and I was like, oh man, that's cool. Like they were in that whole scene the whole time. But
right at the beginning of the movie, oh, okay.
And I'm all for tying in these things to the movies, having these direct scenes go in there, and I'm all for nostalgia, because we brought up in the first season where the nostalgia was there. Like every episode there was a reference to something Jurassic Park, the universe, in every episode, whether it was a character, an action scene or whatever. Like there was always a reference. In this series it bothered me, like
it was too
because
obvious.
it was. So my favorite but my least favorite episode is that I think it's the scene that you guys were talking about with the Scorpius Rex fighting each other, because they do the kitchen scene from the first Jurassic Park. But like, but that's also because they're in that first building from the first Jurassic Park. But what bothered me was the way they presented it and the music to it, because they play that same Jurassic Park jingle, which I love the Jurassic Park song. Like I'm just as big of a fan of Jurassic Park as Mike is, if not maybe more, because that is an iconic film and it definitely lands in one of my top 10 films. But the way that jingle, it's the same jingle and they used it 4 or 5 times.
It's like,
the music didn't transition into the jingle. It was just like, okay, here's some tense music, stop, commercial break, here's a Jurassic Park jingle while this next couple minutes happens. By the way, please buy some Jurassic Park merchandise, because I'm sure you're feeling like you want to continue watching Jurassic Park after watching this. Now back to the tension. Oh, here's the jingle again. Remember this jingle? We played it about 10 seconds ago, but hopefully you still like this jingle. I feel like they might as well just put in like a merchandise website on there just to like get me to buy Jurassic Park merch. Like it annoyed me, and I love that they recreated somewhat of the kitchen scene, but the jingle just ruined the mood. And like, okay, I get that if you want to do some of these callbacks, but let it be its own and not have us like be fully in like trying to we get it, it's a callback. You don't have to keep doing something to remind us that it's a callback.
No, it sounds like you're it's Wonder Woman 2 syndrome with the theme song.
Justice League. Yeah, that's what happened.
Justice League or Wonder Woman?
It was Justice League that they did the jingle every time.
Yeah, exactly.
It like ruined the moment for me, because like I understood the callback. Any Jurassic Park fan is gonna understand the callback, but you don't have to have the fucking like all the other factors that makes people remember it. Like we get it.
Which is the opposite of what they were trying to do, but they look like they force fed it.
for me it felt force fed.
Yeah.
And like it just didn't seem natural at all. And I like the Scorpius Rex. I think it's a cool hybrid. I think it was interesting, although I don't buy into the fact that these kids can now outlive a Scorpius Rex, because Scorpius Rex seems like it's more aggressive and vicious than the Indoraptor, and the Indoraptor is a smart dinosaur. So like I don't get how they're like, it's just too many convenient things now happening in this season. And
especially
it's just like, again,
predator vision. So like what
it just bothered me. And like, I don't know if you guys caught it, because maybe I lost a second of deleted scenes, but when they first encountered the two hybrids, the first encounter, they were stuck up against a tree, because one of them was up on a tree coming down and the other one was right in front of them. But that ends that episode. But the next episode, it starts with them between the two Scorpius Rex in an open area. And I'm like, wait, what? Like there's no way you could have ran from this and be okay. Like,
true.
It just didn't make sense. And I don't know. I don't know if it's what they were trying to aim for this series. I felt like there were more filler kind of episodes in this season than in the other two. And even though I enjoyed still a lot of the animation, I enjoyed the tension, I enjoyed a lot of this, even the callbacks, despite, that it also bothered me. And I liked the direct tie-in to the movie, to the Fallen Kingdom movie. It just didn't feel as cohesive as the first two seasons. And it was a little disappointing, because I praised the first two seasons a lot. I was like, any Jurassic Park fan needs to watch this. But like the season 3, I'm like, it's okay. And the boat, like we already discussed that, the boat bothered me. And I am led to believe that there's no way that they're going to go any further with the boat, right? Because you can't tell me that they're going to make it all the way to another island without hearing a single growl or hearing this door like being banged up. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, this, obviously the next season is going to start off with them, the dinosaur's going to attack, and then that's it. Like, they're going to get stuck on the island again. And I don't know.
Might end up in Isla Sorna.
The next island over?
Maybe, right? Isn't that still full of dinosaurs?
I'm not too sure.
I don't remember.
Is that where Jurassic Park 3 took place?
Yes.
No, 3 ended. No, 3 took place as the first one.
Oh, the second one then. Yeah, the second one.
The second one was a different island, I think. Yeah.
So it could be probably that one. I'm not too sure.
If that's the case, then that's cool. That I like. Then I would like that callback, as long as they don't play the jingle again, because now I'm getting tired of it. But so that's why I'm solidified as a yellow.
One other nitpick. I don't know why it bothered me when Dr. Henry Wong, Dr. Wu. I don't know why I said Wong. Dr. Wu. Dr. Wu. When he was describing what was the dinosaur that he created, I thought it was mix of a snake or something, but no, he said just a poisonous fish. I was like, oh, that fucking sucks.
Just that thing that's in the tank over there.
Oh yeah, it was just my fish tank right there. That's what we made him. He's poison, but yeah, he's kind of aggressive. He's a dick. But like, I was like, you could have just easily said just like a snake, and you know what I mean, like a fucking fish. Fuck you.
And then I forget my last thing. What's the main character's name again? Sorry.
Darius.
Darius, with him not wanting to kill dinosaurs again, I'm just like,
I mean, who wouldn't want to kill a dinosaur? I mean, like, of course, a predator one you have to kill.
But after, like, he saves its life, but then it's trying to kill him afterwards. I'm like, come on, like it's getting overused again. Like, I'm like, we get it. He loves dinosaurs, but at one point you have to be like, they're gonna kill me if I save it. And like,
not that changes my mind about the series, because now that actually kind of makes me feel a little bit better about the Darius Kenji debate, like the argument at the end.
Yeah.
Because I was the whole time I was thinking, like, what are you talking about? Like, you've been following this guy this whole time, like, and this one thing you're gonna like get on his case about, but then now that you reminded me about, he saved Blue, even though that Blue could have killed him easily. Yeah. That makes a little bit more sense as to why he's upset about risking lives, because he risked also his life too, and now Kenji's getting tired of it. Which, okay, fine, that's fine. Doesn't change my card at all. But no. I'm just saying it just makes that situation a little bit better.
And that's why I'm like, I'm borderline. I still think it's good enough.
it's still a good series overall. It's still a good series to watch. I just hope that there's a little bit more. I don't want to say structure, but it's just more cohesive the next series and doesn't because this one felt like a little rushed on some parts, and I don't like that feeling, and so I want them to still kind of flesh out the entire story in the next season.
And I don't know if they confirmed for season 4, but I still will watch season 4 and see how that one comes out.
I mean, I think we're already committed to this far in.
Yeah. So 3 green cards across the board. So
no. 2 greens, 1 yellow. All right, let's talk.
Wait, 2 greens? Is it? Wait, Ham, is your green or a
I'm
yellow?
I'm borderline, but it is a green.
Okay, so 2 greens, 1 yellow. Got you.
Yep. All right, let's go into intermission and we'll talk about our last 2 films.
Intermission. No copyright.
Finish it. No, all right.
Red card.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to worry about copyright after that one.
All right, next movie to talk about. Mike's favorite director, of course, Zack Snyder.
Mike's pick
has come out with a new film that hit theaters and Netflix. Although it hit theaters, I think 2 weeks before it came out on Netflix. Army.
I didn't even know it came out in theaters. Did it?
Yeah, it did.
It came out in theaters first, and then Netflix.
Army of the Dead, a zombie movie, basically. So the synopsis is: following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. IMDb gives it a 6 out of 10. Metacritic, 57%. I think that's what that means. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 70%.
Ooh.
Where's my people at?
And of course, Ham's peeps, as always, they're the ones that we can trust the most. But maybe not for this movie. 72% liked this movie.
Ooh, that's a
72. Ooh.
72%. All right. So as usual, we'll give our cards, then of course go into a spoilers discussion. Mike, go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a yellow.
Ham.
I literally didn't even think about a card when I watched it or anything. Like right now, it's my first time trying to guess.
Yeah.
But I guess it is a yellow.
I'm giving it a red.
Straight red?
It's straight up red. Like even in the Netflix poster, he's holding up a red card that says Army of the Dead. Zack Snyder knew exactly what he was going to get out of this.
Oh man!
I'm gonna go first on this one.
Yeah, I might be talked down to a red right now. I'm just a yellow because I did see this movie a while back, and I'm just thinking of just the stupidity.
Okay, but before we start, can I mention it was in the news? I don't know if you guys ever heard about the sort of scandal of the movie, because the movie was already filmed. And Chris D'Elia was in this movie.
Oh, but that she had to get edited out, right? And then
he had to get it out because of misconduct or allegedly message.
The helicopter pilot is what we're getting to, right?
Yes. Yeah. He was messaging underage women, girls. So yeah, they edited him out completely. Like everything was filmed, he was in it. And whereas the helicopter pilot, I like her a lot, and now I can't even find her name, but she's in Star Trek Discovery. Do you know her name? Can somebody help me out with that?
I was trying to look it up. Well, it's Tig
Notaro. Yeah.
Okay. So let me go first on this one because I'm just gonna bitch about this movie. First of all, the actors in there. There's a wide range of actors. You got Dave Bautista, who's the main one. Tig Notaro, which we've already mentioned. You got Hiroyuki Sanada. Well, who else we got? Ana de la Reguera, Ella Purnell, Omari Hardwick. So there's a decent-ish cast. I don't have a problem with the casting per se. Dave Bautista just proves that he can be in an Expendables movie. Like, he's a good action star. I think he did action really well in this movie. A lot of the choreography and the stuff that he did, I can't complain about that. My only two favorite things out of this movie was Tig Notaro as the helicopter pilot, even though she was only in there for a short amount of time. What she said, it was funny at the times that it's supposed to be funny. And I mean, she just comes off as that, like, it's a reliable sidekick who doesn't give a shit about things and is just going to get the shit done. And then that's it.
That's her stick in most things.
Yeah. So
she does it very well.
No complaints. I thought she was probably the best thing out of this entire movie.
Yeah, agree.
The other thing I liked was the somewhat of the friendship that the nerdy guy, the German guy, and the black guy was forming, because I thought they played off each other very well. And eventually they were becoming friends, and then like the guy was like supporting him. He was like, no. He's working. Leave him alone. Like, okay, all right. Like, it was nice that he kind of saved him too at the end. I was like, oh, that's a nice.
I was wondering what was gonna happen. He was gonna save him, or he was gonna save him. It was sort of a little bit of both. So yeah.
And so to give the listeners a quick recap too, before I go on any further, it is a heist movie. It's a part of Las Vegas is walled off because of this outbreak that happens because of a alpha zombie that goes around, bites people. They become alpha zombies and goes around and kills people, and they just get a whole slew of zombies happening. But the main head of the heist, Tanaka is what they call him. They just call him Tanaka. Says, hey, I got money that I need out of there. I need you to form a team and go get the money. Turns out, though, he's got something else up his sleeve, because he actually doesn't want the money. He wants the sample or a head of an alpha zombie. And so when Dave Bautista forms his team, I think what's the other guy's name? The shady guy, Martin. I think it was Martin. Tanaka hires Martin to say, "Hey, join their team. I need you to do this while they distract everything, and that way you can just get the hell out of there." They get the money. Sure, money was saved at the end of it. Everything they got the money at the end. The guy that tries to get the head of the alpha eventually dies. Almost everybody dies except for the daughter of Scott Ward.
I wish she was dead.
Scott Ward is is what Dave Bautista's character is. But the daughter ends up living, and quote unquote, I think Omari is the guy. Omari is the actor. Is it Vandero?
Yeah,
black guy.
Vander. I don't know. Vander.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, the black guy on the team ends up living, kind of, but it ends with him showing that he got scratched or bit or something, and then he eventually will become a zombie. Okay, my complaints. This whole premise is so stupid. Like, why can't they just set up the mission to just get the head of the alpha and just get the hell out of there? Like, why do we need a heist to distract everything so we can fill 2 hours of time? So that way this can't be Zack Snyder's shortest movie. So the movie can happen. It just seems so dumb why he sets up this money thing when the money isn't what matters. Like, what Martin did in the 5 minutes in that scene, they could have easily done at the very beginning of all this. Okay, that was my one of my complaints. The timing to the whole black guy becoming a zombie. How did he not turn into a zombie almost immediately when they shown the entire way that you turn basically within like a minute time from being bitten or scratched or whatever? Made no sense at all.
Is that what you're complaining about? You're not complaining how he survived an atomic bomb?
No, that's more realistic. He was in a safe. That's
he was in a safe.
That's steel. That's steel, isn't it?
I don't know what it is, but I mean, I'm just going to assume that that's how he was protected. That
I don't think that's proven to be real, though.
No, I think it is.
Listen, if Indiana Jones can do it in a fridge, I don't see why he can't do it in a
the best Indiana Jones movie. Yes. Okay.
Exactly. My other big complaint is how this whole fucking movie started, of how the outbreak, so to speak, gets even out. Is that there's this married couple who's driving down a road. The guy is getting a blowjob, but then like ends up crashing to a military transport who's transporting the main alpha zombie. We get no explanation. We get no explanation as to where this alpha zombie comes in. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, the safe wasn't opened when it was crashed. So what is keeping this zombie like trapped in this safe when he could have just busted out the entire time? Like that part didn't make any sense.
Maybe it like it got it a little loose. I don't know.
But still, though, it's like it's a very, very strong safe, and just because like it hit the floor, it's going to open. So that means that shit wasn't secure to begin with.
Also, where were they even trying to transport to begin with is my question.
I don't know. Area 51, I guess. Who the fuck
No,
knows?
they were leaving Area 51, I think.
No, that was Area 52.
It doesn't give a fuck where they were going. Just, the fact that they keep there was only like 2 instances where they questioned Martin, the guy that was hired by Tanaka, and then never bring it up. Like no one else is suspicious of this guy, right? Even Nataro was bringing up like, "Hey, can we trust this guy? Like, we don't even know what he's really here for, other than keeping eyes on this." And then like the chick that he eventually kills, right? Like she got out. By the way, everyone's just watching and just while she's just like shooting them, and she couldn't even at least say, "Hey, it's because of that asshole."
Yeah,
like,
I hated that.
Like
they could have easily saved her too.
Yes.
Yeah, they could have, but they didn't. That's the other problem. Like, the YouTuber just stares at the whole situation, and that's the other thing. YouTuber. It's a walled off area, but a YouTuber and some other like lone survivor is able just to get in and out whenever they feel like it. Like, if it's a YouTuber, right, his stuff is out there.
It really is, yeah.
They know he's getting in there, so they don't bother to stop this guy.
Oh, and another thing is that they're so close to the girl that he could just shoot the tank and not like. You know what I mean? Like not go all the way back, like fly back because of the explosion. He just stands there and he's like, "Yeah, I blew it up. All right, let's go, guys."
And why is there a camp exactly next to Vegas when didn't they have already evacuated everybody out of there?
Yeah, they did, but for some reason there's a fucking camp in there because apparently nobody.
I don't know.
Apparently nobody has enough money to leave from there. But if the government is the one that's transporting people out of there, so. Why do you need people around there?
And as far as like a zombie movie, this brings nothing new to zombie movies. Like this, no, there's nothing new about this. The
alpha thing is
zombie
stupid.
Has already been overdone. The fact that a monster line, like a monster species, is able to have a kid, that's already been done. Like there's nothing different than these alpha zombies. Like. They don't even do anything interesting with them other than give you a breakdancing zombie, which that blew my mind. I was like, why the hell are you doing flips?
Which one was that one?
When they're in the fight scene over in front of the safe, like I think it's Dave Bautista's character is like trying to stab him, but like he fucking like does a backflip and does like a low kick and like tries to avoid all like he's doing
was
like
it one of the alphas?
Yeah, it was one of the alphas.
No?
I thought it was one. I thought that was when all the alphas came.
It have to be one of the alphas.
Well, that's the thing, though. The movie doesn't really fully address which one is an alpha and which one is a regular zombie, because literally the people who were there, all of them were able to run. They were able to just like do what a basic alpha does and everything like that. But it just doesn't fully address like which one is like the runner, which one is like who. They mention a whole different types of different.
Did it a decent?
No,
I think the breakdancing one was when all the alphas came. Because remember, because at Olympus, the other place is when the main alpha guy was like, "Hey, we all got to rally up and go kill these guys." Yeah. So anyway, regardless, like these alphas get killed much easier than they set themselves up to be. Like they expect to be like these badass characters, but they're really not. There's nothing scary about this at all either. And even if that wasn't the case, there's nothing entertaining about this other than Notaro. Like this was a bad movie trying to be disguised by like, I guess I don't know,
cool version.
That's not even a good thing of describing it that way. But it's like, and don't get me wrong, Zack Snyder, like I like Man of Steel, I like 300, I like Sucker Punch. Those are probably my favorite Zack Snyder films. I enjoy those movies. But everything else, like this is bad. this is not even enjoyable bad. This is like I had to force myself to finish this movie bad. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go. The reason why I'm stuck with a yellow because there's when I was watching this movie, I was like, all right, it's not bad. But I'm waiting for like the cool action scenes, and when the action scenes do come up, they're entertaining, but they don't last as long as you wish it would. And as for a heist movie, I don't really believe it's a heist movie. I just think it's just a movie of course, them trying to open to get money and stuff like that. But towards the end, it's just like it turns into something else. It's just more of a survival, stupid movie where you have these people. It's just like, all right, fuck the money, fuck everything, and it's just like what Sal said. Is like, how come it couldn't just be the main mission of just bringing the queen's head or even the alpha head where they could have worked together and just even double the money. Um, for me, for Zack Snyder, I think he's good at directing, producing, but just don't give him writing. I don't think he knows how to write. I don't. So far, the movies that I like so far is just like what Sal mentioned is Man of Steel, 300, and Watchmen. But when you look at all those three movies, those are very easy movies to really make. Watchmen is a novel. He just literally copy and paste, right? 300 is based off history, right? Man of Steel, easily copy from comic books.
Based off
Very based off his version, and it worked. It's fine. I'll give him credit for that. But everything else, it's just like Justice League and this movie. And why is this movie 2 hours and 30 minutes or some shit? Why? Like there's no need for half of the things in this movie. You could easily make this movie like an hour and 40 minutes. Easily. And the number one thing that I was getting so bothered with was the daughter. I couldn't care less about the daughter. And then the stunt that she did in the end was complete fucking stupid.
I don't even know what one you're talking about.
The daughter, Batista's daughter.
No, the stunt you said. You said stunt?
Well, what I mean is like her saving her friend. Like, why? Okay. Like, why do you need to save her? Like, she's the one that went inside first. And then, second of all, what's your plan to escape? Right? And then third, the friend died in the helicopter crash. What the fuck? What was the point? Like, what was the point of that? I don't know. That's just me. I just wish also too, like for the guy who owns the chainsaw.
Yeah.
I wish he used the chainsaw.
Right? And
he never did.
Yeah.
He never fucking used it. And they kept on hinting that, oh yeah, he's gonna use it. He's gonna use it. Dave Bautista, he did good. I think of course him and the other pilot girl, they were the best ones in the movie. But everything else was sort of, like I said, I'm going to be probably talked down to a red because at the meantime, when I was watching the movie, I was like, okay, it's not, I guess it's not bad. It's all right. It's whatever. Then the more I think about it, and I was like, well, this was kind of stupid. This was stupid. Why? So you cannot fly in a helicopter inside the city, but you could fly out. You know what I mean? Like what's the connection of that? And we don't get any more backstory, or we don't get any clarification of the guy who set up the heist, or he's just like, oh well, they died, oh well, so what then? You know what I mean? Like, is he losing anything? He's not. He's just, well, that could have been another pay grade for me. Oh well. Like, it's just there's no punishment in this movie. It's just everybody dies. There's people that live that you just sort of don't give a shit about. The ending is stupid. They're going to go to Mexico City, and there's going to be another sequel. And then also, too, nobody mentioned the blue eyes zombies.
The what?
The blue eye zombies. Like, they were, like, all the zombies, some of them had blue eyes, and I for a second, I thought they were robots. You don't remember? It's just when they were in the casino, when Dave Bautista was on the table, and he was just shooting zombies, and some of them, like...
Blue eyes are like shiny eyes.
No, they were shiny blue eyes, and then when he shot him in the head... Literally, you just see like a robot skull.
Huh. maybe I wasn't paying attention to the movie, but
Honestly, I think I convinced myself, and even Sal, hearing Sal, I'm changing to a red. I'm changing to a red. This is a red card for me.
also, I don't know about you guys, but after I watched it, Netflix brought me to that. I forget how long it was. A little behind the scenes. Anybody watch that?
No, I didn't care about that.
It literally just jumped me into it. I was like, I guess I don't have anything better to watch. But I disagree with Sal. I thought there were some good shots in the movie, like when she actually got tricked from the Martin guy, whatever you said his name was. Her trying to, I guess, dodge the, let's just say, zombies. I thought that was interesting. It was a little suspenseful, where she's trying to like, oh, he tricked me and going a different way. Now what am I gonna do? She dodges all of them. She survives twice, somewhat. I'm like, oh, she's dead. And nope, she's there. I'm like, oh, well, she's gonna be dead now. Nope. And then at the end, she does die. I'm like, I thought it really cool if she actually survived it, but nope. I also disagree with Sal. I think everyone didn't trust them. I mean, I think Dave Bautista didn't trust the Martin guy. Uh, the girl who died didn't trust him. Pilot, the blonde chick, like she said, the blonde chick said it a couple times. She's like, nah, blah, 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 blah. So I don't understand why they didn't even kill him to begin with, especially the blonde chick that killed the other guy to survive. I did like the friendship between the two characters that Sal mentioned before. I thought it could have been something better, but it tried. I see the heart in that. Some of the shots at the beginning of Vegas was pretty cool, but I give it a strong yellow. I think that it does deserve a watch. It is a dumb heist movie, whereas heist is very loose. But I'd say definitely it's more of a zombie movie than anything else. And I saw some stuff that I haven't seen in zombie culture in recent times. So that's why I gave it a yellow. I'm like, oh, this is a little bit different than what I've seen over and over and over again in recent zombie mythology. So,
The problem I have with it being called a heist movie, though, is because, like, okay, look, can we agree that this was more focused on a heist movie than it was an army or a zombie movie? Is that fair to call it more of a heist movie than a zombie movie?
I could argue that, but
I don't know myself either, because that's the thing that I was trying to say, is that I don't know. There's times where it's trying to be a heist movie, but it's not a heist movie, and it's
I think it fluctuates. Okay. Yeah.
So here's the thing that I can't even call it either of these movies, is because when you get a heist movie, you get a detailed plan of what is going to happen, who's going to do what, and then you see all of these actions, like these certain events happen in that particular order. And what's interesting is when there's like a slight curveball that kind of like throws it off for a loop, but then you get it back on track. The zombie part of this, I felt like, was too much interfering with the heist part, because there wasn't a clear blend, which is why I asked you the question, like, what can you really call it then if it's not a heist movie? And that bothers me, because then I don't even know what really about this was a heist movie other than the German guy cracking the safe and the helicopter flying away. Other than that, there is nothing else about this movie that speaks to me as it being a heist movie. It doesn't even show it to be a heist movie. It's just like, here's a building. There's no plan to get inside the building other than we just walk through the front doors and then go down the elevator, and then that's that. And then the leaving part is we go up the elevator, go to the helicopter, and that's that. There's no intricate plan. There's no like, we have to dodge this and that, and we can only access this on level 4. Like, there's nothing interesting.
But that's the zombie. That's the zombie part.
But that part is not even as interesting either, because they just do like a bullet spray of on their guns, and then that's it. All the zombies are dead. The only thing that was like that throws them off track is when all the alpha zombies come in. But even then, you just throw a couple grenades, you shoot a couple bullets, and then that's it. That's all it is. It's a shooter. That's all.
You did remind me that at the beginning, that first zombie was impossible to kill, and I'm like, yeah, then it's so easy later, and I'm like, what? Like with the army guys shooting him so many times, one of them didn't shoot him in the head,
Yeah.
but
And
So,
another,
so like the traps that lead up to the safe, that lends it to be more of like heist-like because you have to think those things out and try to
yeah,
figure out a way. There's no figuring out, oh, hey, there's a zombie coming after me. What am I going to do? Play chess with it? No, you're just going to shoot it in its head and then that's it. You just move on. There's nothing interesting about it being a heist movie because it doesn't feel like it's a heist movie.
yeah, and another thing too. There's a couple things in this movie that it builds up, and one of the things that I didn't understand was the security guy when he was out for just for bait for a sacrifice. For some reason, I feel like they were gonna build something up towards him, and they kept on mentioning like, "Oh yeah, everyone's an alpha. They turn into different types of zombies." But the security in the end, he just turned into a regular zombie and just killed one person and done easily killed in the head. Where I was just like, oh, that's I don't know if I was supposed to be feeling some type of way of like, oh man, he's gonna be a serious zombie later. I just felt like underwhelmed. I was like, okay, like what was the point of that? Like it could have been any zombie.
also
That's just me.
the
And the Terminator zombies too.
his character was whatever. I also like the part where the guy was like, "This could be a loop. This is good. Like, look, that could be us." And I'm like, "Why are you going with that? What the fuck?"
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's worth watching. I wouldn't recommend it. You could easily spend 2.5 hours watching anything else remotely interesting above this.
It was 2.5 hours for no reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your opinion, Sal, about the robot zombies that I mentioned?
I vaguely know what you're talking about, but because I could give two shits about anything that was zombie related in this movie, I just ignored it. There's obviously a lot more lore building you can do with this, but that's again its own problem is that it doesn't do anything to build on that lore. It doesn't talk about the alpha zombies and how exactly that they become intelligent, like and how they can have a kid, how they can build this culture and society. But now, I mean, you and then the supposed like these robot zombies. I mean, I don't know. Just don't care enough because the movie didn't seem to care.
Yeah. Oh, and also too, if we ever have a zombie apocalypse, just like how they had in this movie, that we put them in a corner, and there's people saying that zombie has rights. You're a fucking idiot. I just want to say that. That pissed me off. I don't know why. I was like, because I feel like that shit right there is real. Like that literally could be anybody in the real world. Yeah, it's like zombies are humans too.
Maybe in the zombie world of what is it? Simon Pegg and whatever that could see people going. Zombies have rights, but the last thing I want to say is I do recommend this movie for people who like zombies. Maybe not heist movies. If you want to do something heist, go watch Oceans or play GTA Heist.
Right.
So wait, Mike, are you still
I changed my No, I'm a red. I changed it to a red.
Okay. I gotta
we have
sure I put it in for the records.
Yeah, so 2 reds and 1 yellow.
Yep, the yellow doesn't matter. All right, last movie to talk about. Like I said, listeners, this is quite of a doozy of an episode. I'll try to edit this the best I can, but we have a
movie
new entry into the Saw franchise, which is called Spiral. Spiral does take place, I believe it was 10 years after Saw, the last Saw movie?
One came out in 2017, Jigsaw.
Right, and that's actually the one I have not seen. Out of all the movies, I have not seen this one because before I watched the movie, I watched like a 10-minute catching up with the Saw franchise before you watch Spiral.
I think Jigsaw one that I was like, wait, what's going on? Or
I don't know. I didn't see the movie either, but I heard a lot of people that you're able to skip that movie.
Maybe. Yeah. But Spiral stars Chris Rock of all people, which was at first kind of weird. He is the one that actually pitched the idea for the movie, and because of his pitch, the producers or whoever said, "Okay, yeah, sure, let's go for it."
Executive producer, so I'm sure he put some money into it as well.
Well, he has to pitch the idea first to get it approved, and so he probably took on that role too. Yeah. IMDb gives it a 5.9. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 37%.
Ooh.
Wow.
And a Metacritic gives it 39%.
Ow!
And like everything else, those don't matter at all because Ham's people, someone woke up and put in a vote for this. 84% like this.
So it's only one person.
84% of Google users. The synopsis, well, on this one's pretty long. Let me see if IMDb has a shorter one. The synopsis here is a criminal mastermind unleashes a twisted form of justice spiral. The terrifying new chapter from the Book of Saw. That's.
Can I go first?
I did see that Book of Saw. It did say Book of Saw when the title.
Okay, so again, Chris Rock is the main star. You got Samuel L. Jackson, Max Minghella, Marisol Nichols, and a bunch of other people, which I'm sure maybe Ham saw him in Stargate or something. Let's first go through our cards, and then we can discuss the movie and spoilers after. So, Mike, what is your card? Okay, Ham. Ham, what's your card?
Why do I go first?
No, I know. I said red instantly.
I guess I was. Fuck. A yellow.
I am going to initially say yellow, but I could be talked down to a red.
I mean,
okay, and I'll go first. Spoilers, everybody.
Surprise.
Spoilers. I'm gonna go first. What I don't like about this movie is everything about it. The positive things.
And review is done. Well, good night.
Everything. Right? Good night, everybody.
Have a good night. You go. Like what?
Okay, positive things. Chris Rock. Right. There's a couple. Yes. His energy in this movie is pretty actually like. It's so weird, but it works.
Maybe Chris Rockish, maybe.
Yeah, and then of course his legendary thing about Forrest Gump is just great. Like it's just he puts it hands down about it. It's great. That's the beginning of the movie. He starts to lose that energy halfway through the movie, and towards the end of the movie, I just didn't give two fucks anymore.
I don't think it was on purpose though.
No, it's not on purpose. It's just the movie just gets lost. It wants to be a Saw movie, but it has nothing to do with a Saw movie. And first of all, the movie's super predictable. Predictable.
I've got notes about the predictability.
Yeah, I fucking predicted from the beginning of the movie when they went to the train station for the first time. I knew exactly who it was. It was so easy. And then on top of that, I don't think Chris Rock saw a Saw movie. I don't think so, because the whole entire motivation, they were saying that, oh, you know what, Jigsaw never fucked with cops. Have you not seen all the other movies? That's all he fucking did was just bring justice to bad cops, and that's what they're doing to this movie.
Not bad cops, just bad people.
Well, he didn't fuck with cops, but cops were always after him.
No, he fucked with cops as well too, because they were bad people.
But he was a cop. He had the cop's kid in the second one.
But again, just to be clear, because this is why he's considered a copycat, or anyone's considered. Well, in this case, he's considered a copycat because he is going for bad cops in this specific movie, but in all the other films, Jigsaw has explained that he goes after people that have done wrong and have not done anything to redeem themselves for it. Like they just are okay with doing the wrong things continuously. It's not just cops. I'm sure like there was a couple of them that he killed along the way, but it's the fact that all these people he messed around with have done bad things either to him in his life or to other people that he's witnessed.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I don't think he saw them. I just didn't think this movie was clever. This movie was trying to be clever. It's trying to be something different, but it's not. It's just, to me, of course, it's easily a fan-made movie. I maybe somebody who directed it, of course, like Chris Rock pitched it, but I think he's a fan of Saw maybe, but I still don't believe he saw like the real story of Saw. It's just I wasn't really entertained by it. I was more bored of it. I was just more of like, okay, it's just the same generic shit. And honestly, his whole character wasn't really. There was no necessary for him to be in the movie. He could easily just been taken out. Easily, you could easily just set this up for all the bad people who did the the vigilante wrong, and just do like every other Saw movie. Just put them in a room and they have to figure it out. And then, because in the end, nobody had a chance to win. Nobody. No one. Like, because the thing is that the water. Like, okay, let's look through the first trap. Right, you have the tongue guy. Right.
Yeah.
Halfway, he woke up and you don't even know where was this train really heading to. Like the train, you don't know where the train was already halfway there, and this guy could have easily just woke up and then 3 minutes later the train's coming already, and he didn't have no process whatsoever of leaving what's going on. And then of course the second trap where the bath was already halfway full.
Yeah.
And then what? It takes a while to break a finger.
I think you're right. It was when you start the game, you had like 3 seconds to do it, or else you're dead. Like,
yeah, and then
time.
Yeah, and then of course, like the other guy, the guy that also too the
wax,
the wax shit. Like, what is she supposed to be doing exactly? Like,
she was about to break her spine, so she'd be. Literally,
but that makes no sense because I'm watching with my wife where she's a doctor and she's like, that makes no sense. How you going to make her break her spine if she's going to be dead already? If you do that, so that
I think in the movie she was going to be paralyzed.
But regardless, though, she's going to be losing so much blood. I don't know. Just to me, it's just like she's going to be losing so much blood and everything that makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, she was going to just bleed out and die. And then the other trap was like his friend. He was chained up and shit like that. And then where the hell were you supposed to find the key, right? But the thing is that you have all these things flying at you and you didn't want him to die. But then again, you want him to set him free. Like, it's just stupid. And then, of course, the dad in the end, regardless, he died. And then what was the point of the guy to really reveal himself and then escape from the elevator? It just he got beaten up. He got beaten up, but
yeah,
whatever. This movie was a very disappointing. I had potential, and I just think this was just a stupid spin-off or trying to be a spin-off, but at the same time, it doesn't want to be a Saw, or it just tries to be a Saw and not a detective, a mystery movie, but it's just confusing to me. I think it just goes through a lot of identity crisis, and it's just very, very, very stupid.
All right, Han, what do you think?
I agree with a lot of things Mike said, but I just want to go down the list really quick of he uses Chris Rock's phone in the beginning, of course. This is in order as I was watching it. It's obvious his dad who died. It's him. Oh, this is one I thought it was him and his mom, maybe because of the female voice of the Saw things. So I thought maybe it was him and his mom teaming up, but that never came into play. Saw victim without actually seeing them die. Yeah,
right. That's what gave it away.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, right. Never sees his you never see the guy's actual family, like, because he was gonna go see the family, but then something happens and I'm like, yeah, of course. And then the look when he gives the when he looks at the cop at the church, the guy who actually killed his dad, I was like, yep. So it was very, very predictable. I agree with Mike. I'm glad Mike I'll skip that. But I still think that if you like Saw franchise, go see it. I think it is a cash grab. I mean, it says the Book of Saw, so it's like a spin-off-ish of Saw, but not really Saw. I saw where they were going. They try to do like a cop brutality power over citizens. I liked how they used the pig for cops because there was no real reason in the original Saw to use pigs. It was just a thing they used, whereas this sort of has a double meaning, of course. I like Samuel Jackson. I like Chris Rock. I think it's worth a watch if you're a Saw, like I say, let's say fanatic fan, but it is Saw Diet Light Crystal Max whatever.
Okay, so everything you guys said solidifies my yellow, actually. So yeah, good job, guys. Good teamwork.
Maybe you're gonna go with the red.
Chris Rock performance, I think, was great throughout the whole thing. I don't agree with Mike. I think like the way he portrays his insanity, that he's just a regular Joe. He's going through a divorce. He's even able to put his comedic role into the serious role very well. I think it all blends well. That's probably like the only like super high positive I have about this movie. Otherwise, like I was kind of on board. I'm not as I don't see the obvious as much as you guys do, because I think the first obvious choice was like, okay, yeah, it's got to be the partner. The partner has to be the killer. But I thought it did a fairly good job kind of tying in other flashbacks and things to make you think, oh, it could be that guy, because everyone had it out for him anyway. So it's like, it did okay, like setting up that mystery, I think, throughout, up until we get the scene where the partner supposedly dies, and then we, like you said, we don't get to see it. So I'm like, okay, that's the obvious giveaway. It's the partner. So that kind of sucked. The fact that it's only killing cops, I think, lends itself to be an interesting story, though, because these are crooked cops, and because of how like the bad that they've done, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that's blown. I shouldn't say things out loud like this, but it kind of makes you want to like root for them. Be like, hey, man, like they one cop killed another, like they're just an innocent bystander for like pull him over and just kill them for what? For just like barely, putting his hands up or whatever. There's nothing like all these cops. I hated every single one of them for what they did, and it almost kind of makes me want to think like, go ahead, just kill the guy. Like, and I don't think the traps were supposed to set up a win solution. It's supposed to perceive it as like, oh, there's supposed to be an opportunity to win, but the guy wanted these cops dead. There was no question, especially the final dialogue where you could obviously hear in his voice, he doesn't want these cops to survive at all one bit. Even if they were to go through with the other solution, they like Mike was bringing up, they would have lost so much blood, they would have died out. And that was probably the point. So I actually like the storyline behind this and what it was trying to go for, because also the traps are supposed to probably be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like not as eloquent as Jigsaw's puzzles, because he's a copycat. You can't copy exactly one for one what the original does. What loses it for me, though, and why I really I'm a yellow on this, is because it's not really a Saw movie, and I don't say that in the same way that Mike says it, because the big like draw into Saw was never really about the story. It was about the traps and how gruesome and how like unbearable it is to watch these traps. So the thing is, none of these traps were gruesome. Like none of these traps were like unbearable to watch. They were like some high tension points was like, oh, that's gonna get pulled, but it was nothing to the extent of like your jaw being completely ripped open, or your head being like, sectioned off into all these different pieces, or being thrown into like a blender. Like it was nowhere near up to par as the original franchise, or the original movies of the franchise. And I walked away because like there was like one other family with me, which, by the way, that was weird, that there was a mom and her two kids,
an actual family
without the dad.
Well, yeah, I mean, like kids and like,
the kids were like maybe middle school students, and it was just, I don't know, that was so weird. Anyway, as we were walking out of the theater, they asked me for my opinion, and I just said it was okay, but I think it played it too safe. Like everything felt like it was very like we want to do it this way just in case that it doesn't do well, because if it doesn't do well, I mean, people can just use the excuse of like, well, it's a spin-off, right? It's not like the main movie. So that's how I felt. Like the traps played it too safe. There was nothing gruesome or like, I gotta close my eyes on this part. It was just all like, okay, you're just gonna rip out something. So what? Like, no big deal. And I think that's where it falls short of being an actual Saw movie. Like everything else, I think was there. I think I think the whole storyline would have fit a Saw movie, but the traps is what makes the Saw movie, and this isn't up to par with those traps.
And I just want to mention real quick that you reminded me of the homage to the actual Saw and is, are they gonna go there? And then he finds the key. I'm like, okay, I guess not. But it's like a little nod. I'm like, all right, I actually liked it. So.
Oh, and that one trap bothered me. The puzzle is in the key is in the trash can. I'm like, really?
It was very simplistic. Yes.
Like, that's just stupid. Like everything else, I felt like was kind of interesting, right? Because I think in one of the earlier franchises, they actually had to dig into a dead body or something to find like a key or find something.
Yeah, a bunch of things. No, but I think they thought he was dead, and then they found out as he's there stabbing him, he actually wakes up. So
yeah. I don't know. Like it was not as creative with that aspect of the Saw franchise. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do another one. If the ratings are this bad overall, probably not. But I wouldn't mind giving it one more shot as long as they don't play it safe anymore with the traps.
Yeah, I think they have to go balls to the wall.
Yeah. All right. Well, listeners, that's pretty much it. We've got nothing really else to bring up, and I'm pretty sure this has already been a 3-hour tour. We lost Gilligan somewhere along the way, so
yeah, like Lost. That happened. We lost. Lost.
So next week we got a double feature. We got Cruella, and we also got A Quiet Place Part 2. Those will be the next two films to talk about. And I wasn't joking when I said we lost Gilligan, because we don't have Mike on here at the moment. He had to go. Something about a drinking crisis. Please don't be the captain. So as always with the social media, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Drunk Cop and a Teacher. Or if you want to write us an email about any comments, or if you want to give us feedback about anything or suggestions of what you want us to watch, you can email us at drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com.
This time I had it. I was gonna do it.
Well, too bad. We're done. All right. Without further ado, we'll just say bye, adios, sayonara. Ham, say something clever.
Here it is. For trivia, for the listeners and not us, what does MGM stand for? Good night and good luck.
That's not what it stands for.
No, but